good morning, yet in 10 minutes, it would be afternoon. So good morning and good afternoon. Um, I want to read in this is going to be Chronicles 28, but I want to read uh two verses out of that before I read Chronicles chapter 29. I'm going to read some verses out of 29 too. I'm going to start at verse 11 to 12. This is another consecutive chapter. It goes on and on and on and on. This is David's charge to Solomon. David's charge to Solomon. Then David gave Solomon his son the pattern of the porch, the pattern of the porch, and of the houses thereof, and of the houses with an S thereof, and of the treasures that's with an S thereof, and of the upper chambers that's with another S, chambers thereof, and of the inner plurals, therefore, thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat. Then David gave Solomon his son the patterns of the porch, and the houses thereof, and the treasures thereof, and the upper chambers thereof, and the inner parlors thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat. Then David gave to Solomon, he gave his son the patterns of the porch, and the houses thereof, and the treasures thereof, in the upper chambers thereof, in the inner plurals, therefore, thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat. Solomon had good wisdom. He had more wisdom over than over. And a lot of people couldn't understand where his wisdom came from, but then after a while, they started to realize it couldn't be nobody but God. Nobody but God. All right, over to chapter 29. This is David's thanksgiving and prayer, his reign and death. Furthermore, David the king said unto all the congregation, Solomon my son, whom alone God hath chosen, is yet young and tender, and the work is great. For the palace is not for man, but for the Lord God, period. Now I have prepared with all my might for the house of my God the gold for things to be made of gold, and the silver for things of silver, and the brass for things of brass. The iron for things of iron, and the wood for things of wood. Oxen stones and stones to be set, glistening stones of divers colors, and of all manner of precious stones and marble stones in abundance. Moreover, because I have set my affection to the house of my God, I have my own and own proper good of gold and silver, which I have given to the house of my God, over and above all that I have prepared for the holy house, even 3,000 talents of gold, of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, to overlay the walls of the house with thall. I'm going to stop right there. David already gave his son the patterns. God gave him more wisdom than more wisdom which we needed. But most of all, Solomon had discernment. He had real good discernment. I believe that his discernment was so good, people start probably saying that he can foretell the future. That's just how good his discernment was. In many cases, there's many Davids, that live amongst us. And there's many Davids that our fathers have somewhat lived the same life as King David. And so therefore you will only think that if some of our fathers lived a life as King David, that they would only imagine that their son would have been Solomon likewise. And so you never know who people are. You never know who people are. People just trespass, they transgress, they do all these things thinking that they know. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I know. If you ever want to know anything about my life, ask me. Don't listen to nobody else. I'm telling you now, don't listen to nobody else. There's things in my life that I lived way before I knew any of these people that's been talking. And I can tell y'all some things about my life that you would think that it's Hollywood, but it's not. It's real life. And the other reason why I don't be on here like that, because I asked God to not let me have to be. I took the long way around. So let's just get that straightened first. I took the long way. Meaning that a lot of people have to be on here because they just not starting out to give their life to God. My life been gave to God before birth, during birth, and even as I was becoming of my age. So I already walked a long walk, which I'm trying to tell y'all. But I took the long way. Means that I walked through the valley of death. That's what I mean. A lot of y'all didn't, so you have to be on here like that. And you have to give it back to God. But I gave it back to God through my walk. So I asked him, don't let me have to be like that. And he granted me what I desired. But can I be like this? Can I come on every now and then and feed his sheep? Of course. Because I know what I'm talking about. I know more and more over than I'm talking about than when anybody can ever say that I know. But the reason why I won't go ahead of y'all, because y'all won't stay yourselves. It happened before. It happened 5 years ago. People started acting like they was me. Start taking my persona. And that's a no-no. Because I'm going to tell you now, ask them people how it turned out for them for trying to be me, trying to walk in my shoes. Ask them how it turned out for them. You can't be me. So that's the reason why I don't put so much on this internet. Because people don't know how to stay themselves. So if you ever want to know anything about my life, ask me. Don't assume things, because you can find yourself on the other end of this. And what's on the other end of this? Well, always remember, you worthy, you eternal, you made. Made of who? Us. Who is us? We God's people. That's who you'll find yourself on the end of it. Once again, my father, he was all entwined with those people. He made it to the top level, the top floor. He had his own lodge. I said it before, I say it again. I was his only son. That should tell y'all something. Everything my father touched turned into gold. People know it, but they won't tell the story because my father, he died 4 years ago. Everything my father ever touched turned to gold. I'm his son. His own son. That should ring a bell in y'all minds. Don't get it twisted. And if you think your government don't know who I am, then you really sad out here. Why? Because you see me in this. Go back to my older videos. I told y'all I chose to stay here. I had offers. I had offers to go up. But I didn't want to. Because I find pleasure in doing what I do. And that's being free. I always remember, God love you, Jesus love you, and so do I. Don't get the uniform twisted.